Before we compare both regular-sized Captivz mosasaurs, 1. Spoiler warning, and 2. Let's make a drink. I'm calling this one M142, as that was the designation of the tracking tag on the Mosasaurus in Jurassic Rebirth. While I would normally make a small drink for a small figure, the Mosasaurus was one of the 3 colossal creatures from the film, so we gotta scale this one up. You'll need white rum, coconut rum, blue curacao, club soda, mango juice, and lime juice. This one is a little tropical, a little bubbly, a little sweet, and a little boozy. In a shaker with ice, combine 3/4 of an ounce of blue curacao, 1 ounce of a coconut rum, 1 1/4 ounces of your white or silver rum of choice, 1/4 ounce of lime juice, and 2 ounces of mango juice. Shake to mix, and then pour that into your drinking vessel with ice. Top that all off with 6 ounces of a bubbly club soda. Then you can garnish it with a little Mosasaurus, especially if you ended up with a bunch of duplicates, and enjoy. Cheers! As much as I love this little Mosasaurus mold, I have gripes. So let's start with the egg. I don't know about where you live, but these used to be $5 a piece in my area, and now they've gone up to $6. They didn't add anything new or swap the awful slime out for anything else, just a price increase. Which, yeah, I get that it happens, but since these are blind boxes, I'm looking at nearly $7 a piece after tax with no guarantee that I'll get the handful that I want. After 4 Sinoceratops, I gotta call it quits. Which brings me to my second gripe, the lineup. The T-Rex is hardly changed. The Kentrosaurus was not in the movie. The Quetzalcoatlus is the old mold with a new head, which is actually clever, so I'm okay with that. The Spinosaurus is fantastic. The D-Rex is hideous, but the creature itself is also hideous. The Compy isn't even in movie-accurate colors. The Pteranodon is slightly different colors than the earlier release, and we'll come back to the Mosasaurus. The JP3 female raptor would have been a nice addition for a legacy wave. The Ankylosaurus is not bad. The Sinoceratops was not in this film, and I'm honestly glad I didn't end up with the rare ones because flocking was such an odd choice. Where are the Mutodons? What about doing all 4 Spinosaurs? That would be a great way to reuse the exact same mold with different paint jobs, like they've done with the Atrociraptors for a few years now. Are they saving those for a second wave, or will we just get more repaints? So, this Mosasaurus looks fantastic. I love the colors, and I love the mold, and I've loved that mold since the very first wave of Captivz here in, 2020? It's the same mold. It doesn't match the new Mosasaurus design, both in terms of sculpt and paint. They did a new mold for the supersized Captivz Mosasaurus, which looks great, but not for these little ones. Is this a $6 toy? Hell no. But look, if you missed out on all the other Captivz Mosasaurs and you like the previous Jurassic World trilogy design or you don't care about screen accuracy, or maybe you're a completist, then absolutely go for it. The Dinoramas retail for $8 in my area, so for only $2 more than the eggs, you get way more bang for your buck. Not only do you know exactly which figure you're getting, but you get a bunch of little accessories, no awful slime, and a sweet case that looks like the Jurassic Park Raptor cage. But they are not perfect. There are 3 Dinoramas, land, sea, and air, each one in a different color that lets you know what's inside. The land one should be Titanosaurus, but nope, it's the T-Rex. They were so close, but yet so far. Inside, you get a little insert with instructions, kind of, and stickers that you could apply if you really want. It's weird to have the Mosasaurus figure in a display next to the Mosasaurus sticker, right? So, to transform the case into the diorama, you just unfold it and it's a mess. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just the quality control on mine, but mine fell apart the first time I tried to do it. It's the exact same concept as the Transformers Micro Machines ones, and those were fine, and if anything, those were a pain because it was too hard to separate the pieces. My advice for this one is to either leave it as a cage or let it all fall apart and then rebuild it from scratch, and then maybe glue it together because it kept falling apart like every time I tried to pick it up for filming. And honestly, it looks fine without the stickers, but I'm gonna add a few of them just for fun because some of them look pretty cool. Since the panels have pegs, the stickers have holes, and let me tell you, it's really hard to align stickers behind a camera under the influence of alcohol, so I recommend doing this up close and sober. But there we go, I'm just doing these 3. Now we can add the accessories. First, we have the shipwreck of what I assume is supposed to be the mariposa, but it's way out of scale. Then we have some massive seaweed, and then Kincaid's boat, which is awesome, but I think it might be a little off scale-wise. I'm not entirely sure, so someone please let me know. Is it too big, too small? Either way, here's the main event, the Mosasaurus itself. Again, same sculpt, which I love, but not accurate. Very similar colors to the egg version, but a little different. This one is cast in that moss green color with white paint for the belly, whereas the egg version is cast in white with the moss color being painted on. So, my final thoughts on these are very similar to the film itself, actually. I'm happy to see some recent favorite prehistoric creatures with some neat updates and a clever way to reinvent the line, but suffers from some poor quality choices. I'm left wanting a bit more and wondering why they added some elements that were definitely unnecessary, but all in all, I'm happy to see it continue and I'm itching to know what's coming next. So here's to a second one, be it film or toy wave. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, all those things you do to help out the channel, and thanks for drinking responsibly.